Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. Using girls on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends used to bug. Long boys blues, 1975.
This is XYBOTS on the Commodore 64. If you've been following my XYBOT gameplays, you'll know that I've done the Spectrum, I've done the Lynx, and I've done the arcade. So I thought it only fair that I do the Commodore 64 version now that I've managed to track down a ROM that actually works. I guess I could have done a Spectrum versus Commodore comparison, but it seems a little too soon after I did, or played the Spectrum version, I should say, to do it now. So anyway, we're just going to jump straight into the Commodore 64 version. You must know the story by now. Some space station gets invented by a bunch of XYBOTS. You are Rock and or Ace, and it's one or two simultaneous player games. It was originally going to be a sequel to Gauntlet, but you know, a move around a maze, shooting the XYBOT, which changed from level to level, multiple exits, and there's a map at the start, the top of the screen. Anyway, so you've got SID chip music. Alright, granted the Spectrum didn't have any music. Obviously this was recently arcaded in 1987 by Atari and released on the Commodore 64 by Doma, but they were like Tengen in 1989. Sorry, it's my OCD, I have to say all that stuff. So anyway, right. You use a map at the top of the screen to navigate where you go and where the exits are and where the bad guys are and stuff like that. It's going to be play as one player. Which side am I going to be? Press space to start. I'm going to press fire. No, I have to press space. Right, there we go. So all your information is in the appropriate parts of the screen at the top, left or right, depending upon who you are. And fire to start. Right, so I'm on the right. Right, so the Spectrum version was 48K, so it had no sound effects, but let's be honest, that was pretty crap music for the Commodore 64. Nice chunky sound effects, chunkier than the Spectrum, but by no means the best sound effects the Commodore's got. Am I the only person? Right. Controls the same way. Oh, right, hang on, right. I'm getting shot, that means, yeah. So you have to hold down fire and press left or right. I'm playing it with the joystick, so it's a little bit more clunky. Excuse me, XYBOTS give me a gacky throat. There we go. Yeah, elephant in the room. Am I the only person who thinks the ZX Spectrum version looks a lot better than this? That's not me being a fanboy. The sprites are just smaller on this. They just seem to blend into the screen a little bit too much. I mean, I know it was either blue or garish red on the Spectrum, but you could argue, you know, to me, there's not a massive amount of difference, is it, Dave? Well, I don't know. It looks like a worse, inferior port. I mean, it's not, you know, light and day apart, but there is enough of a difference for me to call it. Like, it's the size of the sprites. I wasn't expecting them to be, you know, exactly, I wasn't expecting to be exactly the same. I was expecting the Commodore version to be like loads and loads of colour. I've just got myself lost. Where am I on the map? Oh, we're still going in the right direction. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I was expecting you just assume that the Commodore was going to have a lot more colour than the Spectrum, not this. Right. Whatever I shoot, be it wall or enemy, it makes that same noise. I'm going backwards. I'm going forwards. The colour in the map is easier to follow. It's you know, it's clearer. It's brighter. It's just the actual corridors of you and you're not XYBOTS running around. They're just not as nice as the Spectrum. See that there? I don't know, maybe it's me. Oh! Backwards. To be fair, I think the sound effects are a little bit too over the top and chunky. Oh, I continue. Did you put... Of course, you put me all the way back to the beginning, but everything should be dead apart from that new section I opened. Maybe I should have just waited a month or so and then did a direct comparison, because I'm sure people out there going, oh, I think this looks fine. Maybe it does if you grew up with it. I just don't think this looks as nice as a Spectrum. Oh! He came out of his hole. Shizenballs. Yeah. I'm gonna... Need to stop saying that. Can't base a whole video on, I just don't think this looks as nice as a Spectrum. Right, so this is where you use the map. Because he's come out of his hole, the other room. So now we need to shoot him, track him down. Kill the XYBOT bastard. Oh! Arrows useful. Do you know what? Maybe it's a joystick thing. It's far clunkier, changing your actual direction, than it is on all the other versions I've played. Far clunkier. See, look at me run. I look like I don't know. I'm wearing tight leather pants. It's killing me. New high score. The controls aren't sharp as a Spectrum, I'll give you that. I know it isn't a comparison video, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Things we learnt, right? I ain't opening that cycle. To be fair, I shouldn't anyway, because that's red to let you know that you're losing energy. It doesn't seem to want to backtrack either. Finally. Money, money, money. Yeah, this is weird. Oh, what the fuck? Did somebody just give up the ghost? Look how I run. I've either shat my pants or I'm rupturing my bollocks because I'm wearing tight leather pants. No talc, and it's a hot, sweaty day. Right. Yeah. Don't like this. Don't know what reviews it's got on the Commodore. I don't want to press. See, I don't want to press back. The problem here is you've got to line up with them. You can't. You could go backwards on the Spectrum version, and maybe that's a keyboard thing. You go backwards on this and you press fire, you immediately turn around, and then you're screwed. Right. You could stay shut, door on left. Anyway, that would be like Gauntlet, hence the fact that, you know, it was going to be a sequel to Gauntlet in a maze, where you could go through different exits at different points on the same level, which will take you further on into the maze, not the dungeons, if you see what I mean. Right. I don't know what I bought. Prepare to enter level 4. I'm going to have to turn around. Take a shot. Strafe. I know you could argue that's pretty much every game since the beginning of games, but I'm kind of saying I'm going to have to help myself. I am not a fan of this. I think this is a pretty pants conversion. No. I mean, alright, you're going to say it's not massively different to the Spectrum version. It plays worse. It's blander on the eyes. And the controls. Look at, turn around, you friggin' leather panted twat. Die, XYBOT, die. Am I even hitting him? Yes. And no sound effects. I think I prefer the incredibly understated 48k beeper sound effects. Can you tell which version I prefer? I can't turn around. There we go. Right, so you've got to remember, I am going the right way now. Why are they so small? Where's the bird this feather came from? It's alright. No one there? Knock knock. Yes, couldn't see him. It's like the 3D, I know they don't technically scroll, but the 3D, you know, stages in Riser, or Contra, on ZX Spectrum. More impressive than this. And that's 2 years prior. Can't fly fast enough. No! The fucking controls in this are absolute wank tank. Right back at the beginning. Do you know what? Tip of the day. If you want to emulate an 8-bit version of this game, emulate the Spectrum version. You're welcome. This is rubbish. Yes, I know I'm a Spectrum fanboy, but this is rubbish. Oh yeah. It's slower, I would say, as well. There I go again in my leather pants. Maybe he shat himself and he's wearing leather pants. And he hasn't talked, and it's a hot day. I mean, Jesus Christ, Lieutenant Dan can move faster than this. special magic legs. Oh yeah! Yeah, I know, I'm just going to get to the end of this level, but yeah, I'm going to call it Spectrum version. No, it's not comparison video. I don't want to sound overly harsh on Commodore, but I'm going to call it Spectrum version. For all your XYBOT gaming needs and wonderment. Do you want to die already? Don't make me take my pants off. Jesus. Oh. No. See, that's when the controls decide to fuck you up. I can't play any more XYBOTS on a ZX Spectrum. Do you know what? It is night and day in difference. Maybe not so much graphically, but it is worse on this. But the controls in this, and just getting lost in the maze because you're constantly turning around when you don't want to. Oh, they make it shite. Play a Spectrum version. You're welcome. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.